Just about 1 week ago, Tesla started offering $3,750 off a new Model 3 or Model Y. Did not matter if this was a custom order or if this was just an inventory car that you take delivery of, as long as you take delivery in 2022. So you have the rest of this month to take delivery to get that $3,750. In addition, Tesla started offering 10,000 supercharging miles for all Teslas. Model S, Model X are included. That 10,000 supercharging miles is good for up to 2 years. So whichever comes first, 10,000 miles or 2 years. Well, just about an hour ago, Tesla started offering even more incentives, and I'm not surprised. Really quick though, if you want to be in the know when news breaks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Every time there's breaking news, we try to get that out to you as quickly as possible. I've been watching the inventory on Tesla's website for the last month and a half or so, and I've been watching inventory absolutely swell. You have to keep in mind, all the way up through the summer of this year, there's been practically no inventory of new cars for at least the Model 3 and the Model Y for a long time. And after the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 was passed, that started to change. Demand is the issue. So for a while, Tesla was able to get away with it because a lot of people had prices locked in that were much lower than prices today. So those people were either going to have to take delivery of the car without these tax credits, or they were going to have to cancel their order and start new with today's prices. So by pushing customers to take delivery or lose your price, they were able to get away with this for some time. But it turns out that we're now at the point where probably all the orders that had a better price in place are completely fulfilled. So what's left is people who have a car on order with today's prices. And given the fact that these EV tax credits go into effect January 1st, a lot of people are saying, I'm not taking delivery. This is not a good deal for me. And you're probably smart for doing so. Now, there are a number of cars that are not going to qualify for this EV tax credit, including cars like the Performance Model 3. And we're still unclear on, is the long range Model 3 coming back at a lower price? And is the standard range Model 3 going to end up getting its battery from a new location? With so much uncertainty at this point in time, we really don't know exactly how much of that up to $7,500 tax credit Tesla is going to qualify for. So starting with the Model Y, there's a really good chance it's at least going to get $3,750, if not the full $7,500. We're really waiting to find out where the critical minerals are coming from that Tesla is using to make their batteries. Assuming that that then qualifies, it could have $7,500. The standard range Model 3 is currently the only Model 3 that qualifies under the MSRP caps of $55,000. But that battery comes from China today. So Tesla, I do know, has been working on changing things around to get that battery compliant. And if they do that, it could potentially get up to $7,500. Now, the long range, it stopped being available for order shortly after the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 was passed. And it's not a surprise. So we're expecting to see that come back at probably $3,000 less than its $57,990 when it disappeared. So the best case would be standard range Model 3 and a long range Model 3, $7,500. Best case. The Model Y, best case, both the performance and the long range would qualify under the MSRP cap. So assuming batteries are good to go, that will be $7,500. So Tesla, having an issue with customers taking delivery of these cars for a while now, started offering incentives here in December. So right at the beginning of December, that $3,750 and that 10,000 supercharging miles were being offered by Tesla to take delivery this year. And that's actually a pretty good deal because when you think about it, not only are you getting $3,750 off the price of the car, but you're also not paying taxes on $3,750. So since it's an actual discount on the price of the car, there's additional tax savings. And depending on where you live, that can add up. So this realistically for a number of you was $4,000 in value. The other thing to keep in mind is this being a reduction in price, you get this incentive now. You don't have to wait. If you recall, at the very onset of the tax credits, this is going to be at time of filing your 2023 taxes. It's not until 2024 when that tax credit can be signed over and applied to the price of the car. So for the first year of this tax credit, you're not going to get those credits until the following year. and you're going to pay taxes on the entire price of the car. So having that $3,750 now, that's actually not a terrible deal. But here's the other thing. Tesla just tonight made a change and they doubled it. So instead of giving you half of the proposed credit, they're now giving you $7,500 off if you take delivery right now, plus 10,000 supercharging miles for up to 2 years. This is a really good deal. And there's a couple of reasons for that. First and foremost, of course, like I just said, you're not going to pay taxes now on $7,500 of the price of the car. So this car is going to sell for $7,500 less, and depending on where you are and what your tax rates are, this could save you quite a bit of money. This is going to be well over $8,000 of value for most of you. Now, in some states, you don't have to pay taxes on EVs, and I'm not familiar with all the intricacies of all the states, so be sure to pay attention to how sales tax works in your state, as it will vary. The other thing to think about as well, that tax credit you're not going to get until sometime in 2024. You have to wait to file your 2023 taxes, which are due in April of every year. So in April of 2024, you would file your taxes for 2023, and that's when you would look at getting those credits applied. So that's over a year from now before you would even get those credits. And the other thing, the absolute qualification of cars. This is where things get a little bit interesting too, because some cars that will not qualify, like the Performance Model 3, because it's too expensive, they get $7,500. This is the only time you're going to get that kind of money off of a Model 3 Performance. In addition, if some of these cars only get partial credit, meaning $3,750 instead of $7,500, you're actually going to get more money now by taking delivery. So I've been sitting back watching this inventory absolutely implode, and it's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's a ton of Model Ys out there, and a lot of people are saying, I am not taking delivery. I would not take delivery right now either. However, you can now get the $7,500 right now, and you can get it in the form of a price reduction, meaning less taxes, meaning the overall cost of this car is less. And if you make too much money or there's other factors that prevent you from qualifying for the tax credits, this is a sure thing. So it doesn't matter how much money you make, how much your tax liability is, everybody gets $7,500 off of a Model 3 or a Model Y and 10,000 supercharging miles for 2 years, starting right now until the end of this year. So that gives you about 2 weeks to get this sorted if you are indeed interested. This is fantastic news. Literally was just thinking about what is Tesla going to do next, because even when they rolled out that $3,750, it didn't seem to really move the needle much. This, however, I guarantee you this is going to move some inventory. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @BeardedTesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.